and your Western Conference Finals MVP. Welcome back to Utility Sports. Really excited for this video. As you can see from the thumbnail and the title of this one, we're actually going to be in NBA 2K23 here, trying to get a W in the NBA Finals. We're trying to win a championship with this team, and as you can see, we're only using drafted players. So it's going to be a big term rebuild here. We're going to have to probably go 3, 4, 5 seasons to make it work, but the goal here, win a lot of games, win a championship with using only players that we've drafted through the NBA draft. And as you can see, here's kind of the way I have this all set up right now. Looks pretty standard to me. So this is what we're going to do. Start right at the regular season. We are going to select the Oklahoma City Thunder. No better team to select than them. And let's go ahead and move forward. We are just using the standard 2K roster. Didn't really feel like moving stuff around, even though I might not agree with all the ratings. And we're going to auto-generate the rookies. So let's go ahead and go take our first look at it. And we do not look like we have a lot of good players in this draft. In fact, it looks rather weak. We've got 2 small guards here. Sharpshooting shot creator and Emmanuel Servaitis, which I'm guessing he's from overseas. Where is he from? France. So we might have the French point guard be our guy here to lead this team, which I'm not sure if I like it or not. Obviously, it's going to come down to potential for a lot of these guys. So that's going to be really important. And right now, we do not know any of their potentials. So I think the biggest thing here is if we're going to do this through only having draft picks, it's time to go make some trades. Let's start with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So here I would get a 2026 first for Shai to sending him to Charlotte. And I'd also get Terry Rozier back, who I could probably reroute. Although getting the Jazz first round pick seems like a no-brainer here. So let's go ahead and make this move. Yeah, so we're going to add that exception. We now have the Utah Jazz first round pick this year. Get a draft pick in here. Christian Wood in a first is not bad, because we could probably reroute Christian Wood. And that's what we're going to do here. We're making this move. We get Dallas's 2026 first round pick. We're going to have to hope that in this league, Luka Doncic leaves. So let's see. Can we reroute Christian Wood right away? We can. Hopefully we get a first round pick for Wood here as well. Suns first rounder with DeAndre Ayton. That's really not bad. If we made that move, we could probably reroute Ayton and get more assets, but at the same time, I really do like the idea of getting an Orlando Magic first. But I think that we probably just do have to go this pick right here from the Suns. So we're going to go ahead and make this move, get DeAndre Ayton on the squad so that we can trade him literally 1 minute later, because we do not want DeAndre Ayton here, just like how Phoenix doesn't really want him there. Let's be honest about that. What a bad contract that they found themselves stuck in now. And it looks like as of right now, we can't get any first round picks for DeAndre Ayton. 2027 first round pick in Draymond Green from the Warriors. Obviously, this is very unrealistic at this point, but you know, we're trying to do the things we can do to win a championship. So we're going to make some moves. Draymond Green definitely not going to stay here. We'll probably actually try sending him back to Golden State, honestly, just because I don't feel like I need to have him on my team. So let's see, can Draymond Green get us anything good? I hope he definitely can. Sending him to Cleveland, we're getting that second rounder in Kevin Love. Let's go ahead and make that deal. And let's see if we are able to pull their first round pick for Chet Holmgren. Offer this. Okay, we have to take a player back. Let's go get someone bad. Trey Burke, thank you. Welcome to the squad, hopefully. We like what we have. Whoa. We'll also give you DeAndre Ayton. And then at this point, we would need another player back. So we are making them a little bit better for sure. We'll take Ty Washington back. There we go. So we send Ayton and Holmgren to Houston. Obviously make their team a little bit better than I was hoping for. But that's okay. Hey, are we going to have enough talent here? And it looks like we have 5 first rounders this year. So that's already a good start. One of them's from the Rockets and one of them's our own with a swap best. So, I mean, I do feel pretty good about what we've got for. Let's just look for a player that's on an expiring deal. Maybe we do Grayson Allen here instead of George Hill. And let's see, does this deal get done? No, it does not. But we just don't really want that money. That's part of the issue here. So let's try throwing in Ty. Can't trade him because we would have to be attaching him. Aaron Wiggins, does that help? No, because we would go under the threshold. Nice. Worst case, there we go. We send out 1 second rounder, but we get off of the contract there just because I want our salaries to look pretty open here. So now if we look at our salary cap breakdown going into this year, we have like basically nobody under contract, right? We have Grayson Allen and some options, but we'll be able to clear up quite a bit of money with very little dead cap going into next year. $16.6 million total allocated. Definitely not bad. We just don't want any money on our roster. So now let's go ahead and sim to the end of the year, and I expect us to be one of the worst teams in the entire league. So let's see. We have a trade here. The CPU offered Dylan Windler and a 2026 second via the Los Angeles Lakers for Mike Muscala, which I think is a really good deal for us because we didn't want Muscala on the roster moving forward. And let's go ahead and simulate the rest of the regular season. Let's go ahead and change our target players here. And we're going to just sort in order here. Let's just go top guys. This Edwin Erickson guy looks pretty bad, so let's stay away from him. Clint George, J.R. Nelson, that'll work. Yeah, we're good here. Let's go ahead and scout those guys. Another offer here, and it's a good one actually. As you guys can see, Kendrick Nunn in a 2026 first via the Lakers for Alexei Pokusevski. That is definitely one that we're going to take. So Lakers definitely been bailing us out here, giving us some good offers. We're going to take that one as well. So B plus potential, A potential here for Cliff Caldwell. So he's definitely going to be someone I want to draft, Cliff Caldwell. A plus 3-pointer with A potential. Definitely a pretty good thing to be looking at. He looks like the best player in the class up to this point. Obviously, Emmanuel Servaitis, probably pretty good too. So this might be our point guard, shooting guard combo of the future, depending on where our draft picks land. So Doug Barry here has A minus potential. He's 99% scouted. So we don't really know everything we need to know about him. So what I'm going to do here is actually, I'm going to have them scout him one more time just because I want to have a clear look at him. Let's check out Jawan Reeves, Ayrton Viana, 5'10". No, we're not going to look at him. I do not plan on drafting him. He's a 5'10" point guard. This is not the 1990s, okay? We're not going to do that. But pretty decent options here. Edmund Poole, no, let's go with Guy Morrison instead. I kind of like, he's 23. Al Kelly, Is there any young guys in here in this class? Doesn't really seem like it. That's one of the issues with 2K. So this guy's a C minus player, but he's 18. So realistically, we'd have to ask ourselves, could he be a C or C plus level player by the time he's 19 to make it worth it? I think so. Let's go ahead and scout. Antonis Durakis looks like he could be okay. He looks like he's going to be a second round player, but C overall might be a good grab for us in the second round. Let's just go ahead and go through here and scout as many of these guys as possible. And let's go ahead. Keep rolling here. So we keep losing to the Jazz, which is a bad sign because I wanted the Jazz to be bad as well. All right, we are simming the last game of the year. Luka Doncic is your MVP for the Dallas Mavericks. Jaden Ivey, Rookie of the Year. You guys know how much I love Ivy. Ben Simmons, Sixth Man of the Year. Wait. Came off the bench? Okay. Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis Antetokounmpo. MIP goes to Jonathan Kuminga. And Billy Donovan for the Bulls is your Coach of the Year. Tyler Jamison, Exec of the Year as well. So Harden, James, Giannis and Jokic, Morant, Ball, Tatum, Durant, Bam, Jimmy, DeMar, Donovan, Trae Young. All defense team looks pretty darn good. Ben Simmons off the bench is an all defense team member. Luka Doncic is all defense. Not sure about that one. Jonathan Isaac, Gobert, kind of some of the suspects you'd expect. Shai Gilgeous, not really though. All rookie first team looks pretty much exactly what you would expect. The Rockets have two guys in here thanks to me, and no all rookie second team, I guess. So I guess the rookies just were bad. And simulate the playoffs, see who wins for year one. We have a Cavs-Grizzlies matchup. Let's go ahead and simulate this round. And the Cavaliers win in 5 games. Darius Garland is your finals MVP, shooting 44% from 3. I feel like that's probably a pretty rare matchup to actually have generate here. Here we go. This is the important part of the video now. I'm going to skip the lottery here. And we are picking 2nd and 5th. So our pick fell. Not great. We are also picking 9th. So we have 2, 5, and 9. We also have picked 16, 17, So yeah, we have 5 first-round picks this year, which is good. It's a good time to have it. We need those picks. So, like I said, we're going to make a ton of moves. He's the one I'm really interested in getting because of his potential. And here we are now. We're at the NBA draft. And first overall, Emmanuel Servaitis goes to the Knicks. Knicks get their French point guard of the future. It feels like not too long ago we were saying that. But obviously tough to see Servaitis goes right before us. But here we are now on the clock. Let's go ahead and choose our prospect here. And I think, let's see, where is, based on Draft Express rank, Cliff Caldwell. Ooh, we can't really afford to risk him here. So I think what we have to do is I think we do have to go Caldwell here at number 2. He averaged 28.2 points per game in college this past year. And now we just have to hope Doug Barry goes. That's a bummer. We have to hope that our wing gets here. The Suns make a big trade, so De'Aaron Fox is going to Phoenix, it looks like. And they take Clint George right in front of us. So definitely interesting. We're going to go ahead and choose a prospect here. And the guy we really wanted in Bruno Jukic is here. Feel pretty good about taking Jukic at this point. Let's go ahead and look at the aggregates, though. Is there anyone with higher potential? That is coming up soon. Based on how this is sorted, I mean, we can wait. Donnie Bell. Don't really want to go with him, though. I mean, Jukic is the highest overall here, which I like. He's probably going to be the one that goes next. So let's go ahead and take Bruno Jukic. I know it's not maybe the smartest thing, but I do feel pretty good about it. Donnie Bell goes next. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward. Anthony Gill got traded. Ethan Buford goes. So I think we're going to lack size.
What do you mean by that?
Here in year 1, which is okay. We're just trying to develop our guys here a little bit, and I feel good about what we've been able to take. No, I don't want to review any of those trade offers. So here at this spot, who is still here? Carl Thorpe could be an okay add. I mean, B- potential, though, is not great. Cam Hines or Bill Thomas. These are really the 2 guys here at this spot. Both of them are guards, though, which is not what we need. We did not need more guards. So maybe I should have looked at those trade offers. And perhaps I still will. Let's go back to the data here. Where are these guys projected? Carl Thorpe's going to go if I don't take him. He's 23, though. I mean, 18-year-old Thomas Randolph. Don't really want. Marty Singleton. Let's go back to the aggregates on him. B- potential. I don't know. Kind of feels like a reach. Let's try and trade this pick. Let's do a trade finder here on this selection. Number 9. Maybe we can get future first. This is from the Houston Rockets, so this trade obviously didn't pan out super well. We could get 2 first-rounders next year, though. But we would also have to give up our second, which isn't great. There's Buford. If we did make the move for Buford, that could make some sense. What was his potential? Grades. Potential is only a C+. Don't really want him then. Yeah, we're just going to make this move here with the Bulls. We're going to get 2 future firsts. And we're going to be okay with that. But I feel pretty good about what that move is. All right, we're back on the clock here now. Marty Singleton is still here. We're just going to go ahead and take him. I feel like he's going to help us a lot down the road. 12.8 rebounds a game last year. We're on the clock again here. So, again, I want to go with someone who's going to help this team win some games at some point. Carl Thorpe, I mean, he just is bad. Like, don't really need that. Cameron Hines probably makes the most sense here now. But Carl Thorpe, I mean, like, I'm just not in love with B- potential. I think we just have to go Cameron Hines. He's got the highest potential left. And that's going to be the most important thing for this rebuild is, hey, can we go and make some moves for guys who are going to help this team win long term? All right, so here's the draft recap. Again, we got Cliff Caldwell. That was really our big player. So look at our players here now. Caldwell, Bruno Jukic, 2 guys who I think are going to be reliable wings. Marty Singleton, I really like that addition as well. And then Cameron Hines. Didn't love this one, but felt like I had to with the potential being the highest remaining. Team player options, we are going to decline both of those. We do not want those guys on the team. James Harden declined his player option. Obviously doesn't really impact us too much. Qualifying offers here, we are not going to offer any of these guys. We're going to go out there and see if there's any young, undrafted free agents that could help us. Obviously, Lamar Tavares did not get signed by his team. We would love to give him a contract. Let's go ahead and lock him in here for 4 years at $5 million a year. That's fine with me. And we want to make sure we're going for guys with decent potential as well. So Edwin Erickson did not get signed. I believe he was a draft pick this year, did not get signed. He seems like a really great player to bring in. We're going to go 4 years on him as well. And hopefully we can get him signed up for the squad. We're going to advance. Obviously, Dylan Windler, all those guys are gone. Lamar Tavares and Edwin Erickson joined the squad, though. Feel really good about this Edwin Erickson pickup for sure. And, I mean, 2 top of the second round guys just coming onto our team for 4 years. Definitely feels pretty good about that. We're going to renounce the rights on all these guys. We don't need any of them on the roster. There's Derekis. I really wanted Derekis. He's got C+ potential, though, which isn't great. We're going to go with Randolph here. I did like him quite a bit. We're going to give him a 4-year deal. Let's give him some money. $2.22 million. Yeah, that's good with me. He'll probably take that contract. Mitchell Vaughn. Is there any fit for him? Not really. Don't really see him making a big splash on this team. Horace Simmons, though, I could see him playing on this team. Let's give him 2 years, about $8 million. I'm good with that. And then, again, we're looking for some potential here. So guys who could maybe play an impact. Brent Kennedy went undrafted. Let's bring him in. I feel pretty good about that. 4-year deal. Lock him in for cheap. There's Dominic Barlow, who's a real-life player. We have Sean Tucker. This is the guy we wanted to sign right before. Went undrafted. I like the idea of bringing in Sean Tucker. Okay, we still can't, so that's a bummer. But we have been getting our guys. We got 5 players to sign so far. And now we're looking out here for Sean Tucker still. Here he is. Let's lock him up on a 4-year deal. He's got big potential, so let's lock him in. I know it's expensive for what his overall is right now, but the hope is that he's on this team long term. Then we can keep him around from there. Daryl Byers, feel pretty good about him. Let's give him a 2-year deal with a team option on it, just because I don't want to be locked in there, just in case he doesn't really pan out the way I'm hoping. We have 1 offer left. Let's go into Marshall Hodges. I feel pretty good about. Yeah, let's bring him in. We need some more forwards for sure. We're going to do this. We're going to make it a player option at 1.4 million. That's fine. We can. Obviously not a ton of roster spots left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys signed, which means we only need about like 3 more. And here's Eichel. Let's go ahead and give him a 4-year deal. And we'll just lock him in here as well. I know, I'm dedicating a lot of the roster spots to these guys. Might end up leading to us having some dead money. But with how low these guys' contracts are, I'm not super concerned about it. I'm really not. And let's go ahead and see if there's any other guys with decent potential that could make this team. Those guys are on G League squads. All right, Sam Curry here. Let's give him 1 year, $3.02 million. He signs that contract. Eric Eichel signs his. Let's go check the state of our roster right now at this point. We've got 1 point guard, and it's Ty Washington, who we're going to have to release here. Just because I don't want him on the team. We do have a ton of shooting guards. Actually, we might move Erickson to point guard. I kind of like the idea of that. So let's make Edwin Erickson a point guard. He's going to be a really defensive-minded point. Not really someone that you can count on being, probably your lead ball handler down the road. But we are just doing this to make sure that he gets good minutes. So he's going to be at point. He's a 3-and-D point, they say. And let's also move Thomas Randolph over to point guard, I guess. Just so that he has some minutes there as well. Obviously, probably won't be quite as good at that spot either. But we're just doing this to make it work. So point guard, backup, shooting guard as well. And then this is kind of what we're looking at, right? Edwin Erickson, Thomas Randolph, Jukic. Oh man, Jukic should probably start at small forward if I'm being honest, which means we probably do have to bring Sean Tucker off the bench, which is tough. But yeah, I think that we're gonna have to figure out a way to make this work. And I think bringing Jukic off the bench is not what I want to do. I think I want him to be in the starting lineup. So let's go ahead and set it that way. Jukic will be the starting small forward this year. He's a 79 overall at small forward, so definitely glad I grabbed him, even though his potential is maybe not as high as I would like. I do think he's going to be pretty good there. And Singleton kind of seems more like a power forward to me, but I think at center maybe it'll help him develop, because I do want Eichel playing quite a bit as well. Let's also move. Yeah, I feel good about this. I like what the team's looking like at this point. Again, didn't pick up those qualifying offers. Julio Terry, not a great player, but on the minimum, we'll do it. He signed with the Lakers. That's all right. We don't need him. Now here's the player progression stage. Jukic obviously says he went up 2 overall. These guys went down 1 because I moved him from shooting guard to point guard. Allen, this is time to release him. I can't release him yet. He's on the disabled list still. Daryl Byers is a little shaken up. Not exactly sure what happened to him. And we're going to auto-generate rookies again. And 2K Hoop Summit, here's the first look at them. Some pretty good players in here, headlined by Boris Steele. He's a point guard. And Luka Turk, 81 overall. Definitely some guys that are worth looking at for sure. Let's go ahead and advance to next season. Now at this point, let's see, what are our draft picks looking like this year? We have our own, I mean, wow. We've got like 7 or 8 first-round picks. So we're going to be able to make some moves for sure. This is definitely best case scenario for us. This team needs to show me a little bit here. I want Cliff Caldwell getting a lot of run. Jukic. They are trying to start Curry, which I don't understand. I want Eichel to be playing a ton. Sean Tucker is who we want in here. So let's give him a good amount of minutes. Obviously, those minutes are going to be pretty bad for our team. But I think they could be pretty helpful in general. I do think I want more minutes here for Erickson, so let's put that up to 30. And I think that's pretty good for me right now at this spot. I just killed Grayson Allen's career just because when he comes back, I don't want him to matter. So he's basically sitting on the end of the bench this year for us. And this Suns team is looking drastically worse. I probably should have tried to capitalize a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it's okay. But we're going to sim through the trade deadline here, and we'll see where we're at when we get there. All right, here's our draft class. Luka Turk, Boris Steele, Russ Moore, and Zach Adams look to be the best players in the draft. Obviously, when you sort them this way, yeah, they look pretty good. So let's make sure to get Zach Adams in here. And then we're going to for sure want to scout out Delano Hendricks. Hybrid defender for Henry Bailey. That's an interesting title. But yeah, it looks like we are able to scout more guys at a time this year, which is definitely good because last year I felt like we were a little limited. So obviously they made some staff changes that are going to help us out. We're only 5-18 at this point, but playing okay. Have some wins, which is a positive sign. We want this team to show a little bit this year. Don't really want them to win a ton though, because we still need some more top picks to really supplement this thing. Let's have them look at those guys again. And we're going to be aggressive this draft to make sure we move up and get the best players in the draft, because we have the assets. We just need to go make the deal. And at this point, our fan interest is almost 100%. So people like the rookies. I do feel like this is a really strong draft class that we got here. So hopefully we can see something really good come out of it. Russell Westbrook from the Hornets. They want to give us Russ. Yeah, I'm going to politely say no to that. Zubats, no thank you. We are 12-39, so I think we are significantly better than we were last year. We do not need to look at the All-Star captains. No, we don't want Davion Mitchell. All right, let's go ahead and look at our stats at this point. Let's see how our players are performing. I want per game stats here. So Caldwell's actually averaging 20 a night, which is huge, and he's doing it really efficiently. And Jukic is playing really well too in terms of efficiency. So that's going to be really good. Erickson obviously isn't suited to be a point guard. I think that's a clear issue with our team right now. And Marty Singleton, to be honest, isn't playing that good. 11 points, 11 rebounds. You know, that looks nice, but 41% from the field. Sam Curry just isn't, quite frankly, good. They did definitely touch my stuff here, so I do need to go back in and make some changes back to my stuff, because I don't want Sam Curry playing, and this is why, because he's terrible. In fact, yeah, I don't understand the reasoning there on why they would play him so much. Eichel's been playing really well this year, so we want more Eichel. We're going to give Sean Tucker a bigger role here than he probably even deserves, just because we want him to get better. He's got a high potential, so we're going to give him 30 minutes off the bench. It's going to make us lose more games, which I'm also not mad about right now. Let's pull all of these guys' minutes down just a little bit. Byers, yeah, that's fine with me. Let's go back into Eichel here a little bit more. This is what I want our lineup looking like. I mean, we have a 20-point per game score as a rookie, so that's really what we need. Again, I really like where the team's at. Let's go ahead and simulate through the end of the year. All right, the season has wrapped up. Ja Morant is your MVP. Cliff Caldwell, there he is. Nearly 20 points per game. I would have loved for him to get that 20 mark. 19.9. We'll basically round that up, right? Played really well as your rookie of the year. Bones Highland is the 6th man of the year. Joel Embiid, 31, 13, 5. With a steal and a half a game, 2 blocks a game, essentially. Very good. And most improved player is Finals MVP Darius Garland. Not sure how much that one really makes sense, but 31 points, 11 assists. I mean, those are legit numbers. He was 50, 40, 90, so can't really argue. Taylor Jenkins, Coach of the Year, and we actually have Brandon Harrison, Executive of the Year. We're not on that list yet. We're going to get there, though, when it comes to Executive of the Year. Trust me on that. And this is really what we care about here. All rookie first team. So yeah, Doug Barry, he was good. I knew he would be. So that's a bummer. Marty Singleton does make it, though. Emmanuel Servaitis, we knew he would be on that list. And Bill Thomas, who, 23-year-old, turned 24 now. I'm glad I didn't take him. He's a little old. Edwin Erickson does make second team, though. And Bruno Jukic as well makes all-rookie second team. So I feel really good about our selections. Jukic, I'm surprised he didn't end up getting higher. Look at his hot zones. He's a good shooter above the break. 15 and 4 on good shooting. I mean, that looks like all-rookie first-team numbers to me. Let's go compare that to what Servaitis did this year. I mean, he kind of outplayed Servaitis, if we're being honest. So Edwin Erickson, pretty good year, not great. Definitely not a point guard. He's probably going to have to be a backup two guard at some point. But I really wanted him to get some development run this year. Let's go look at our stats as a whole quick, too. I feel really good about what our team did this year. Again, wow, I mean, look at the numbers here for Cliff Caldwell. He led our team in scoring. About 30 minutes a game, he's just scoring 20 points in those 30 minutes, which is nuts. And remember, he has really high potential, so I think he could take a big jump forward next year, especially since he was so efficient this year, which is one of the most important things for simulation like this. Bruno Jukic played well. Marty Singleton was pretty disappointing. I think he should have played better. Averaged a double-double, which it sounds weird to say that was disappointing. I just had better expectations for him in terms of his ability to, finish from the field. I thought he was going to be a little bit more consistent with his scoring. So Jukic, corner specialist. I mean, that's funny because he struggles from the corners. Clamp breaker for Cliff Caldwell. I think we're going to see Cliff Caldwell take a huge step forward. Cameron Hines, he's got some shooting stuff. Lamar Tavares doesn't have any badges. Edwin Erickson, this is what I'm really interested in. 7 defense, challenger, clamps, interceptor. Yeah, this is a really good defensive player to have on the team coming off the bench. Really glad I found him out in free agency because he's going to be important for us. And Sean Tucker, what was his numbers from the field? Shot 33% from the field. Played only 15 games, so they actually took him back out. And their addiction to Sam Curry is going to make me want to trade him. I just don't want Sam Curry playing. I mean, look at him. He was not good at all. Eichel was great, though. Only 6.6 rebounds, but you look at the efficiency. Didn't shoot well from 3 like I was hoping, but, shot really well from the field. So hopefully that will do us some good. And I'll sim through the playoffs here. Not a lot for us to really see in this because we are not a playoff team yet at this point. We got Dallas representing the West, and this is a great matchup here to see. The Dallas Mavericks led by Luka Doncic versus the Atlanta Hawks led by Trae Young. Definitely a great matchup to watch. Let's go ahead and simulate this round. And the Mavericks win in 6 games. Luka Doncic is your finals MVP. Averaged a triple-double in the finals and 56% from the field, 40% from 3. Definitely a great series for him. And here we are at player retirements. LeBron is retiring. Let's keep him around for one more year. LeBron, you're staying in the league just for a little bit more fun. Who really cares at this point? This is going to be the only player I do that for, just because it's LeBron. You know, he wants to stick around. He's pulling a Tom Brady, sticking around for a little bit longer. Jay Larranaga definitely is a really good assistant coach in the NBA. Prigioni retires as well. That's surprising to me. You know, interesting group of players who are, or interesting group of coaches who are retiring. Hall of Famers, Dwight Howard and Carmelo Anthony both get inducted into the Hall of Fame. Kyle Lowry gets his jersey retired. Dwight Howard and Melo with the Nuggets. Interesting. I'm not sure if that would happen in real life. Obviously, he's probably their best player in franchise history besides Nikola Jokic, but the way things ended there makes me think maybe they won't. We're going to reject all these rule changes. Don't want any rule changes. The only one I want, actually, is I want, based on the way that the draft is going to change in real life, I want this to be very similar. We're going to have the entry age change, and we're going to approve that because very likely that the NBA changes that very soon. Draft lottery here, you can see we are littering the lottery here. We have 5 picks that could potentially be in the lottery. Let's go ahead. First and third is what we're picking this year. We also have pick 7, pick 12, pick 14, pick 17. I mean, we're loaded here, right? We got a lot of good picks. I feel like we're doing a great job up to this point. And what I want to do now is I want to go make a trade. And you're going to see why. I'm going to go make a trade for the number 2 overall pick. I'm going to get that done here, and then you'll see exactly what I moved to get that deal made. All right, so we're giving up a lot here. Let's see, is this enough to get the deal done? It is. So now, when we look at our future draft picks here, you guys are going to see exactly why I did what I did. We have 1 through 3 and pick 7. We also have 2 second-round picks this year. Not sure if those are going to end up playing a big factor here, but when we look at scouting, you guys are going to see why. I mean, look at the top 3 players here. You know, I want these guys for sure. And I mean, look at this right here, right? Boris Steele, A+ potential at 80 overall. Russ Moore, A potential as well. And Delano Hendricks, at A. There's a lot of guys in here that are actually really worth drafting and playing. So we're going to definitely walk out of this draft feeling good about what we have. We're going to take Luka Turk in here as well. Even though his potential is only a B, he's already an 81 overall. So, you know, it's one of those things that we just have to do. He's too good to not take him, even if his potential is not as high. Zach Adams is pretty good too, but I'm not really worried about that. We're just going to skip through this. Don't really care about the pre-draft workout. Let's go ahead to the NBA draft now. Again, we have picks 1 through 3 and number 7 in round 1. We're going to make the most of it here. And we're going to choose a prospect. And I think the first player we're going to take is A+ potential Boris Steele. He's the first overall pick of the draft from Rutgers. And I feel really good about that. Now we're going to come back and we're going to take Russ Moore. Again, he's got A potential from Marquette. He's too good to not take. He's just too good. We need to have Russ Moore on the team. And then finally, we're going to go with the next best player here. We have 13 trade offers. Let's see if there's anything good in here. Pick 19 from the Knicks. No, thank you. Yeah, no, they can't sway us. They can't sway us here. We're going to choose our prospect, and we're going to take... Let's check just to make sure that this is the right move. Out of Slovenia, Luka Turk. Luka Doncic just won Finals MVP in this game. Luka Turk is now on our roster. So we got 3 really good additions here. Benjamin Scott goes. Wasn't really worried about that. Zach Adams, definitely a good player. The Spurs here come back with another selection here. They actually make the trade. They send the 6th overall pick and Gabe Vincent for Jordan Poole. So the Spurs make a real improvement. And no, the guy I wanted, Delano Hendricks, goes right in front of us. I was waiting for this guy. I wanted him so bad. And unfortunately, we couldn't get him. I should have looked at those offers just in case, because it was very possible that one of those offers was going to include the player that we needed in Hendricks. So what I'm really interested in doing now here is actually trying to make a trade for him. Can get Hendricks this way. Here he is. Hendricks is right here along with Gabe Vincent. He's 23. Do we still make that move? 23 years old. Maybe we don't, actually. I didn't realize he was 23, which makes me think that maybe we just go based off of potential here. There are some guys that do make some sense. Henry Bailey, probably small forward. I mean, yeah, like he's got a potential. He doesn't shoot the three ball well right now, but we're going to take Henry Bailey here. Probably a little bit of a reach, but I feel really good about it. I wanted Hendricks, but I think at 23 years old, probably not worth making that move. Back on the clock here. Let's go back. We're just going to sort by potential again. We want someone who's going to help this team win. Matthew Rivers, not a bad option at all. Doesn't shoot the three well, though. He's a good playmaker, though. That's what we need. We needed a point guard on this team still. Obviously, we drafted one early, but a backup is what we still could really use. And if we have trade offers here for this pick, I'm probably going to really look to take one of those just to see if I can get future stuff moving down the road. I mean, yeah, future seconds, that could probably help us. Let's do this one from the Warriors. Let's just execute that deal. I feel pretty good about that, and let's go ahead, sim to the end here of this draft. Right, Boris Steele, Russ Moore, Luka Turk. We set ourselves up for success here. I mean, we got players who are going to help this team win. That's like, I think, the biggest thing here. Got our point guard of the future, 6'6" Boris Steele. You know, I feel really good about what we've got. So players that we were wanting to get, we got them. And I mean, look at the talent we added in here. We're going to sign all of these guys. Henry Bailey, we're going to have to wait a little bit for him to really make an impact. And in order to make this work, we're going to have to clear up some roster spots here and keep those guys. And then we're at the spot here where, yeah, we'll keep Daryl Byers around. I feel good about that. And it's going to be a strong free agency class. Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, both in the high 80s for overall now, which is interesting. Qualifying offers, don't have any to offer. Obviously, our team is all on rookie deals. And I mean, at this point, we got, 16 guys. So we don't really need to go out here and make any moves in free agency. I am wondering, yeah, so Chip Slaughter's still out here. He was pretty good. Is there any potential players that could make a difference here? I mean, Homer Shelton, he has A- potential is how it kind of ended up shaping out. He could be an upgrade on the bench, but I don't think we really need to do that. I just want to keep it to our guys. So let's go ahead and move off of all these players. Again, our draft is really what's going to make the biggest difference for us. So let's go ahead, sim through this, and we're getting to player progression, which is really the most important part here. I'm very excited for the player progression. This is really the telltale sign here. Let's see what this is going to end up looking like. Caldwell goes up 5 overall, and he's up to 13 badges. He got 9 shooting badges after a phenomenal rookie year. Remember, he only had Clampbreaker last year. So this guy is looking well worth the number 2 overall selection. Again, he averaged about 20 points a game, won Rookie of the Year. So definitely love to see that. Jukic, up to 18 badges. That is mental. 18 badges for him. He's not going to continue to grow like a Caldwell did, but he's definitely someone who we can rely on being a good player for us. Marty Singleton probably is going to come off the bench for us now. He got significantly better. His three-pointer did go up to a B. Didn't really shoot a ton of them. I think I'm going to move him to a power forward so that we see some more three-point shots from him. Eichel, though, did play well. He's up to a 73. Edwin Erickson's up to 11 badges, 10 of them defense and a lot of silver. He's probably going to get moved here. Let's edit him back over to shooting guard small forward so that he can come off the bench now that we have our point guard of the future. Again, remember, we just did that so that he would get some play time. Wasn't really planning on him being at that spot. And again, he's 75 overall now. So he's ready. He's going to be impactful for us. Bailey here, the guy we just drafted, I'm not exactly sure. Sean Tucker, probably going to have to cut our losses on him. His potential ended up being only a C+ here. So we might just outright release him into free agency. I'm not sure. I'm not really sold on him. He's wearing Kevin Durant's number here in Oklahoma City. We don't need that on our roster. So here positionally, I mean, look at our point guard. We got our point guard of the future with Boris Steele. Got very lucky with how this draft class ended up looking. A+ potential. Cliff Caldwell, again, he's up to an 80. He's legitimate. This team's going to be a lot better. It is. I really think this team can make some noise. Jukic and Bailey at the small forward positions. Turk and Eichel kind of fill similar roles, actually. Turk's probably quite a bit better than Eichel, but I think they're going to both play well together. And then Moore ended up only having B potential here, which is actually somewhat concerning. But at the end of the day, I feel really good about what we've got. Probably move Byers over to a power forward. What's our overall here? Maybe we'll just leave him. I feel good about what our forwards look like. We got, 15 guys on the roster right now, which is exactly where we need to be. And let's hope that my team here can win Summer League. That's really what I want to see. I want to see this team play well. Where are we at on here? We are right here. We face Denver. So let's simulate this first round. And we lost right away. So definitely was not a good game. Luka Turk played well. Tavares played well. I mean, Moore only shot 4 times in 20 minutes. So that's part of the problem here. This is pretty much our roster and we lost, which is a little concerning. But, it's okay. We're going to simulate the Summer League and we'll catch you in the start of the season here. All right, we're actually going to stop here at the 2K Hoop Summit quick. Let's go ahead and hop into this game and see. This class looks terrible. 266 overall starters in here. Remember last year we saw an 81 and an 80. This Rising Stars game looks brutal. So we're going to have to avoid that probably at all costs. Let's jump into next season now. We're going to set my lineups. I'll show you what that looks like when we get there. All right, this year we're going to probably go about 11 deep. Boris Steele, 36 minutes a game. He's going to be our guy. Cliff Caldwell, he's up to 33 minutes a game this year. Hoping that his efficiency doesn't go down now that he's up to an 80 overall. Jukic, love him here at 30 minutes. Turk, he's going to play 29 minutes. Not sure about his potential as much, so he's going to take the least minutes of the starting lineup. And Russ Moore, we're going to give him 32. Marty Singleton, though, is going to come off the bench, probably play a lot of that backup center spot. Edwin Erickson, again, I really like this guy. I think he's going to play really well as our backup small forward. Cameron Hines in here too, probably playing quite a bit of that shooting guard spot. Lamar Tavares, again, we're kind of deep here at that shooting guard small forward backup spot. So we're going to play Eichel and Bailey just a little bit. That's why we are 11 deep. Don't necessarily love that, but I think the biggest thing for our team here is when we're looking at what we're going to do. My hope is that we see a good amount of performance here from this roster. We want to see this team play well. Average tempo, that's good with me. We're going to have some crash, that's good. I feel pretty good about what we've got. We're going to be a good team this year. Not that we're going to make the playoffs or anything, but I think we're going to probably win close to 30-40 games, which is really a huge improvement from where we've been at the last 2 seasons. So let's go ahead. We're going to sim to the All-Star break basically, and then we'll see what our stats look like at that point. Obviously start the year with a loss, so not a great start, but our team's better. All right, we are here at the All-Star selection period, and you can see our team's 21 and 31, so we are significantly better. And I think one of the biggest things is we've been losing closer games. Obviously the Mavs kind of destroyed us here, but we got them back a few days later. I mean, 2-point loss to the Pacers, 1-point loss to the Cavs. We definitely played really well in the last month. 20-point loss here to the Hawks, but in here a lot of 10-point losses to 6-3. We've been playing a lot better as of late. So this team is getting better. Let's go ahead and check how our players are performing. I think the biggest thing is I really want to see how Boris Steele is playing. He's off to a pretty good start, it looks like. His efficiency is not quite where I would want it to be, but definitely playing well. I mean, Cliff Caldwell, dude. Cliff Caldwell was the pick. He was such a steal. Marty Singleton maybe could win 6th Man of the Year. You see his efficiency is up quite a bit here as well. But, averaging nearly a double-double off the bench, definitely good. Edwin Erickson's playing pretty well as well. Much more efficient, not having to be that true point guard for us. He started 4 games. Arif Eichel, he's been playing pretty well, 57% from the field. That's pretty nuts. So definitely very happy with what we've seen. Henry Bailey doesn't look like he's gotten as much playtime as I'd like, but at the same time, it hasn't really been deserved. Matthew Rivers, he's played 4 minutes this year and hasn't scored yet, so he's still looking for his first points of his career. Definitely hasn't been a great start to his career. But I feel really good about this team. I mean, again, look at this. We have a 20-point per game scorer here. Steele's doing his thing about averaging 7 assists a game. Our defense, I think, is probably one of the issues right now, if I had to guess. Like, we're just not scoring enough. And we don't have that elite efficiency, really, throughout the lineup. I mean, Bruno Jukic, though. I mean, look at his efficiency. He's just not shooting a ton. My guess is his shot tendency is pretty low, which is fine. Cliff Caldwell's getting up shots, right? So he's taking 15 of them a game, and he's very efficient on them. He's shooting 47% from 3 and 81% from the line. So he's been struggling defensively, gives up 15 a night, but you know, he's outscoring them. Our plus minuses aren't great yet, but we're doing pretty well off the bench, I think. So ultimately, I'm very happy with where this team is, and I think really everything's going to be defined going forward based on Caldwell and also Steele. If these two guys can be exactly what I think they are capable of being, they're going to be dogs, and I think this team is very, very good if these two players can continue to just get better and better and better, which is exactly what I'm expecting from those two guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rookie report as well quick, see where we're at in terms of in comparison. Lester Quinn, actually, surprisingly, he's averaging 15 points a game. He's having a really nice rookie season. We might actually have some competition for Rookie of the Year. Boris Steele, though, I mean, I still prefer Steele. Look at the efficiency, 38% from the field. Steele should be the Rookie of the Year. I feel very strongly about that. Maybe there's a case for Damian Andrews here, but Luka Turk having a good year as well, 13-5. You know, I like that. Russ Morris here. I feel really good about the team that we've got. Let's go ahead, keep simming, and maybe, just maybe, we can win more games and somehow slip into the playoffs, but I doubt it. So here we are. Luka Doncic is your league MVP again. Averaged a triple-double and was nearly 50, 40, 90. Those are insane numbers. Boris Steele is your Rookie of the Year, though. Look at those numbers. 41.5% from the field. Not great, but 37% from 3 is very good. 15, 5, and 7, essentially, with 1.5 steals a game. Feel very good about that. Terry Rozier is the 6th man of the year for San Antonio. Nikola Jokic is Defensive Player of the Year. We've seen some crazy defensive stuff. Shaedon Sharpe is your most improved player. And Rick Carlisle is Coach of the Year, with Brendan Harrison coming back again and winning Executive of the Year. Probably not anyone on all NBA. Yeah, we just don't see anybody quite yet. I'm hoping maybe next year we get somebody in that, but that's going to be, you know, that's going to be a tough ask. But overall, Luka gets another all-defensive team selection. But Boris Steele, we see Russ Moore. We've also got no other rookies, actually. So our power forward did not make the list here. We had 4 centers made all rookie first team. So that's interesting. But overall, feel pretty happy with that. Obviously, was a really good year for us. Let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs. Insane there. Let's go ahead and simulate this round. And the Cavaliers sweep. And there it is. Darius Garland gets his second finals MVP of the video. They just look like they are unfair. Chet Holmgren definitely making a good impact there, though. He's up to 85 overall for them, so maybe I got fleeced on that trade. Who knows? I like where we're at, though. I feel pretty good about this team. Kevin Love calls it quits. You know, a lot of players hanging up the jersey this year. Nick Van Exel and Kenny Johnston both retire as staff members. Klay Thompson and Draymond Green both get their jersey retired. Of course, we were the ones that ended Draymond Green's tenure in Golden State. And only a few years later, Klay Thompson calls it quits as well. For league meetings here, not really anything I want to do again. And let's look at the draft lottery here. One thing is, I do not like this draft class. I think this draft class is pretty weak. And at the end of the day, I'm just not a big fan of what's out here. Let's go ahead and skip the lottery. We are picking 2nd overall, though. So I think that's going to be a trade down spot for us more than likely. I just don't really love this draft, and I'll show you guys exactly why here. Let's go look at the draft class itself. Prospect scouting. The highest overall, guys, is 77. So I'm just not really in love. You know, I haven't really checked the potential yet, so maybe there's an insane guy, Alejandro Ruiz. I mean, yeah, C- overall. I don't know. It's one of those where I just live to see another day instead of taking somebody here. And here in the draft, Luka Turk, obviously still our highest overall. We're going to try and package those 4 selections together. We could get Zach LaVine. We could get pick 3, which that makes very little sense for us to do. Corey Byers, he's a young guy. We can move up to pick number 1 and pick 11 with this, which actually that's not bad at all. In fact, I think oh, that's taking our 2027 first as well, which I don't love. I don't think I want this. Let's just try moving these two and see if we can get future draft picks, because that's really what I'm thinking here. All right, here's what the trade kind of looks like right now. I think that this would go through, so I'm going to probably try and get a 2029 first in this too. I'm giving them pick number 2 and pick number 21 this year, and I'm hoping to get a ton of picks from the Spurs in this. They do have a counter offer. I have to throw in a second rounder. Yeah, let's just do this. This is fine with me. All right, the Spurs now have picks 1 and 2. We will see who they draft. They took J.J. McCaw, 6'1" point guard, and they took Don Parker, a 6'1" point guard. So I feel really good. Let's go ahead, sim to the end. Again, we're not making any draft picks here in this draft, but they drafted 276 overall players. Both of them do have good amount of badges, but again, I just didn't really feel comfortable. Alejandro Ruiz was right here. He would have been maybe the only player that made sense, but again, we just didn't like what we had here. So team player options, we are obviously going to want to accept all of these. I think Matthew Rivers is someone we want to keep around. He's the only one I'm not certain on, but I think that there's not really any risk here to do that. LeBron James, his status has declined as well, so it looks like he did stick around actually for an extra year after coming back. Horace Simmons, don't really feel like we need to keep. Daryl Byers, let's keep him around. I think that's a decent offer. Let's go to player progression. Again, this is the most important thing of the franchise here. We need our guys to get better in order for us to really take that step forward. We're not signing anybody. We're just going through the draft. So we need player progression. And we got it, kind of. Not super thrilled, but I'm relatively happy. Cliff Caldwell's a legit scorer now. You see A+, A+. He's really good. His defense got a little bit better. Playmaking's taken a step forward. He's still getting better. I think Russ Moore going up 4 is pretty big. He's a little bit more legit on offense now. Not much. Just kind of well improved around. Not really any specific area. The biggest thing is I think these guys get more badges is going to be helpful for them, especially Russ Moore defensively. Boris Steele, Dimer is going to be important for sure. I think that's going to be good. Hopefully his efficiency goes up. And this was the one concern I had about Jukic, right? Just hasn't really gotten that much better. Luka Turk didn't improve at all. But then again, he's an 81. So this is part of why I wanted to take him. Even if he doesn't get better, he's still a very good player. And he's a valuable power forward for us at 81 overall, 21 years old. Edwin Erickson, though, this guy's been really legitimate for us. He's up to a 79. And this is where I think one of the biggest improvements is. Our depth has just improved so much because of, their own individual developments. I mean, Edwin Erickson has 10 defensive badges, 2 playmaking now, 2 shooting. Like, look, he got gold defensive badges. That's very legitimate. And I think the biggest thing is if Steele can play well and Caldwell can take another step forward, you see a lot of silver shooting badges. He got 10 of them now. That's where we're going to have a shot. Cliff Caldwell, Boris Steele, they're going to have to carry this team still. Russ Moore, 50. He's going to have to play well too, but I think this team's in a much better spot. Are we good enough to really make noise? I'm not sure. There's still some legit teams out here. I think the one issue with our squad is we just don't have the guy necessarily, someone who's going to be like a 90 overall plus. But I do feel really good about where our team is at. Let's go into Summer League. We'll fill it out automatically. Don't really care at this point. Let's just go ahead and sim through it. And of course, the year that we fill it out automatically is the year that we win Summer League, and we did it by 55 points in the final game. Look at Arif Eichel. This guy is starting to get pretty legitimate. 75 overall. He had 30 points on 15 of 17 shooting. Lamar Tavares played pretty well. I mean, we also had Moussa Diabate on that team, and some guys that I don't really want to have on there, but overall played really well. Our Summer League team did, and we won a lot of games. So that's maybe a sign of what's to come. Let's go to the 2K Hoop Summit. Hopefully that we can have a good draft class here. So let's look at what's available for us. Let's go into this game. 79 overall is looking to be the best player in the class. Not great, which is why that one year that I traded up for a top 3 pick, was so important because we had the top three picks that year, and they were all like basically 79 overall plus. That was really huge. So this is our team now going in this year. We have a scoring machine, shooting guard. I mean, our team is very good. I do feel really good about this team. Hopefully we have enough to get the job done this year. I'm going to set my game plan. I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then we'll catch you after that. All right, rotation's been cut down to 10 men. Boris Steele here, 36 minutes a game. Cliff Caldwell, 32. These two guys are going to hopefully carry the load here. Bruno Jukic, he's getting his normal 27. Turk, 27. Moore, 31 minutes this year. Erickson, 26. Again, Singleton. Probably could give Singleton a couple more, to be honest. Let's pull a little bit out of these guys. And put him up to 24, yeah, because he's been very reliable off the bench for us. And then we have Tavares here. I moved to a small forward. His overall jumped up a little bit to a 77. And Eichel still 75 at power forward. So our team looking pretty good. We've got some good depth. I think the only thing we're missing really is that top player. Again, 90 overall. But this team could make some noise. I do think that this team could win 40-plus games. Especially if Steele plays well. I think he needs to play a little bit more efficiently this year, and if that happens, we have a good shot at actually making a really deep run. So hopefully that's what we see. We're going to go ahead, sim to the trade deadline again, and we'll see kind of what everything's looking like. Oh, and one other thing too, we need to keep our eye on contract extensions this next offseason, because that's when we're going to have to lock everyone in. And by the way, this is just looking scary here because Caldwell's wanting 39 mil. Moore's wanting 39. Our team's going to get pretty expensive here. Luka Turk, $40 million. Probably not going to happen for Turk if he stays at an 81 overall, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when we get there. And let's go ahead, sim through this date, and we'll see you on the other end. All right, so here we are, February 11th. Our team is 29 and 26, so we're actually above 500. At one point, we were about 5 games above 500, but we've struggled a little bit more this last month. You see this was kind of a rough 2-week stretch in here. We went, looks like 2 and 5 in that stretch. So had we, maybe gone 4 and 3 even, just a 2-game difference, we could be looking at a big differential here of 31 and 24. So right now at this spot, we're 5th in the conference, so we actually might make the playoffs for the first time. And it seems like everything is going well. Our team's playing right. Our team is operating on all cylinders. I think the one big issue, though, and you can see it here, torn ACL for Boris Steele, and that might just kill our season. He tore his ACL, and our team is just not the same. Look at our year this year. Everyone was balling out. Cliff Caldwell has been awesome. Boris Steele was playing so good. Look at him. Look at the efficiency between these two guys. 47% from 3 before tearing his ACL. It's one of those things where you just can't control it. Now at this point of the year, we're going to have to rely on Matthew Rivers, who is just not the same player. Does have some badges. He can really play make for others, which is helpful. But it's just not the same. We just don't have that point guard now. I do think it is worth looking out for a trade here. And seeing if there's any young guys. Again, if we're going to do something, we're going to make a trade for a younger player. Someone who can help this team, who's a pretty good overall. We want someone to fill in that point guard spot while we have the injury to our best player. Obviously not going to be anyone real. It's going to be one of these auto-generated guys. Because that's what I want to do. I want to keep it to those players. We're looking for someone who can be impactful and help this team win. Willard Thomas, it's not what we're looking for. We are looking for a legitimate guard who can handle the basketball for us while our injuries are there. There's our 5'10" point guard. I don't know if I'm going to have shown him, but he's there. Don't really want to go out and get him, though. Oh, man. It's just a tough situation. Here's Doug Barry. Glad I didn't make a move for him. I mean, that's just such a disappointing injury to have had. That's one that really just kind of shoots us in the heart here. One that we really just could not afford this year. We just could not afford an injury like that. Don't think that there's a trade out there for us, one that I really think is going to help push us over the top. Again, looking at the extensions right now, a lot of people look like they're going to test free agency. which again is not great. A lot of these guys want big money, which some of them just aren't worth that. So next year might have to be a teardown year a little bit, but we'll see when we get there. Let's go ahead and simulate to the end of the season. Obviously very disappointed with the torn ACL to our star point guard. All right, here we are. End of the season, Darius Garland wins MVP of the league. He has had such an insane simulation here. Dean Conley is the Rookie of the Year. I mean, this is why I didn't want a draft pick. The Rookie of the Year shot 38% from the field. Feel very good about trading out of last year's draft. Christian Wood won Sixth Man of the Year. Giannis Antetokounmpo was the Defensive Player of the Year, well deserved. Evan Mobley gets Most Improved Player. Definitely stepped up his numbers. Steven Silas, Joseph Jackson from the same organization are the Executive and Coach of the Year. And at this point, you see Garland first team, Mobley first team. So definitely crazy that both of those guys are on the same squad there. Luka, Morant, Durant, LeBron, Cat. Definitely not surprising. Players, kind of the usual suspects you expect to see on there. All defense, do we have anybody? We do not. And all rookie, we probably won't have anyone either. So again, wasn't super impressed with what was out there with Spurs guys. I mean, ended up being pretty good. First and second all rookie teams. How did Maka shoot from the field? Hopefully not good. Because if he didn't shoot well, it's possible that we have a high pick this year. He shot okay, actually. Maybe I got fleeced in that deal. We'll see. But the biggest thing here is our Oklahoma City Thunder made the playoffs. We somehow got through the postseason without our second best player, and it's really because of Cliff Caldwell. I mean, look at this guy. He ended up averaging 21 points a game and really put the team on his back. You're looking at a near 50, 40, 90 season. Cliff Caldwell is one of the best players that I could have had. We missed Steele for 60 games almost. Looking at 54 games he missed this year, and we still made the playoffs. Definitely impressive. Luka Turk stepped up big time. Russ Moore averaged a double-double. He's been a walking double-double machine since he got in the building. Definitely been valuable for that. Marty Singleton played well as well. So, we're looking at some of these guys stepping up. Singleton actually shot a couple threes this year. Not very many, though, so can't really base that off of anything. And Matthew Rivers, kind of the unsung hero, didn't shoot well from the field at all. In fact, was pretty horrendous from three. But 5 assists a game, kind of stepping into a role that he wasn't even going to be playing for us. Wasn't even going to be coming off the bench and had to start. He stepped up big time. Edwin Erickson played really well. Look at the plus minus per game here. Boris Steele was an average plus 3.2 points per game, and everyone else just kind of hovered back down to bad once he was out. So I think one thing to keep our eye on here, Bruno Jukic kind of was struggling, it looked like a little bit. So we'll have to keep our eyes on him. He gave up quite a few points, but not a bad number. Steele was actually giving up a ton. Caldwell got it in check a little bit, but Steele was playing so well. It's just a bummer that he tore his ACL. He's day-to-day now at this point, so it's possible he could maybe come back for the postseason here. So let's simulate the play-in, and let's see, is there any chance at all that Boris Steele could come back to play? I don't think so. I should add, at the same time here, I should add Caldwell and Steele to my untouchables, just because I don't want teams trying to trade for them. It gets rather annoying while you're simming. But let's look. Game plan. Rivers is still in here. Caldwell starting more. Singleton. It looks like these guys, I mean, the bench has been huge. That's part of why we've been good. So, it looks like we're going to have to just go here. Let's simulate through game. We won the first one. Let's check the box score here. Ant had 47 points. But we got the better of him. Steele does play. Steele had 20 and 13 in what was probably his first game back since tearing his ACL, and boy was he efficient doing it. Cliff Caldwell struggles in his first career playoff game, but it was really the Steele and Moore show, and boy, Boris Steele, what a hero this guy is. So glad I took him. He's been great this season, just before tearing his ACL, and coming back, he's pushing through the pain here. They do tie it up though in game 2. Anthony Edwards gets 52, and Steele does struggle quite a bit more in the second matchup. So we're going to have to find a way to stop Anthony Edwards. Don't really know how we're going to do that. Might have to go... part of me wants to move Erickson into the starting lineup, but I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead, simulate one more game here. Okay, if Ant has like 50 again, he had 32. I mean, we might have to move Eriksson into the starting lineup. I think that might be the move here. Let's go to game plan. We're going to bench Jukic, put Eriksson in here. We're going to go like that. And then what we're going to do here is against the Timberwolves. Let's set our matchups. And against Anthony Edwards here, we want this to be at Eriksson. That's what we want. We want Eriksson matched up on him. Hopefully he can have a bad game and they win again. And I mean, Edwards struggled a little bit more, only 25 that game. I say that like that's not a lot. It's better than everyone else on our team. Man, Caldwell played well. Eriksson played okay. I mean, let's simulate one more game here, and we've been eliminated. So 5-game loss in the playoffs. Edwards went off again. Can't really do anything about it. Let's go ahead and sim the playoffs here, and we'll catch you in the offseason. And no surprise here, the Cavaliers won the finals. One surprise here, Jarrett Allen's actually finals MVP. So the Cavs have just been dominant in all of these simulations, which is insane. Player retirements, there goes LeBron. And he is officially gone now after another insane season. 23 years pro, absolutely insane. Tim Hardaway Jr. goes out on top after winning a championship. And we see a lot of executives retiring at this point. Hall of Fame inductees, LeBron. I mean, look at the games played. Russell Westbrook as well gets his Hall of Fame bid. Russell Westbrook, we do retire his jersey. LeBron gets his jersey retired with 3 different organizations, which is insane. Number 6 with 2 of those teams, and number 23. And Blake Griffin actually gets his jersey retired as well with the Clippers, which I don't think that would happen in real life. Let's reject all these rule changes. Don't want those. Draft lottery. Let's see where we are at. Looks like we do have some top bids here, which is pretty good. Let's skip to the lottery results. We're picking number 1, which is definitely good. We need that pick to improve this team, I think. Let's see if there's anyone out here for us. Let's simulate through these this stuff at the beginning here. And let's check out the pre-draft workouts. Irving Mason would probably be the pick if I had to guess. Let's see, is there any potential guys? Theo Gooden. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in love with any of these. Might have to take Clark Shaw. He's an 18-year-old. That's probably who we're going to take, Clark Shaw. Let's go ahead and do it. It gives us a little bit of insurance here in case we're not able to keep all of our guys. Clark Shaw, probably going to have to be the selection. Again, I like his 6'7" guard. He's got a 3-pointer. He's got a potential. Clark Shaw, Loyola, Illinois. Instant offense, bring him in. Very similar to what we have already, but we need the next player we could get. So we make that move. We're on the clock again here. Let's see what else is out here for us. Jacob Schultz. It's not a bad year to add more talent for sure. Dwayne Gilbert could make some sense. He'd B+ potential. Yeah, let's go with Dwayne Gilbert. Even if he doesn't play this year much, that'll be okay with me. Let's see. Do we have any trade offers here? We don't. Let's go ahead and just trade finder this maybe. And just see if there's anything out here for this team. We don't need any of these first rounders. We have 5 more of them left. And here's the guy. I mean, Emmanuel Servaitis. We didn't get him in year 1, but he did have a huge jump this year. I think we're going to make a move for him. Let's see if we can get his rights. Says no offers were found. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make this offer one that they can't decline. We're going to make a big push here for Servaitis. He's going to come off the bench for us, which I know sounds crazy, but we're gonna be aggressive here and get something done with the New York Knicks. I want Servaitis. He's about to become a free agent. We might have to try and make a push at him in free agency then. We're trying to bring in Servaitis. This is really what we want. So this is what we're offering here. We're offering 4 first-round picks for Servaitis. They don't have any interest in that up to this point. Let's see what else can we throw in here. Spurs 2029 first. And let's throw in our own 2030 first. So 6 first-round picks for Servaitis, and they don't even have any interest in it looks like. So we're going to have to make something happen here. Throw in their first and Clippers first next year. And we have it. Servaitis is now on the team. So we do make one trade here for a player. of Servaitis' caliber. He's not going to start, don't worry. This is still Boris Steele's team, but Servaitis is going to be our 6th man. And I think that's kind of the player that we've been missing, a versatile offensive force who can, you know, score and play make for others. I think that's really going to kind of round out this team. Corey Hayward, don't think we need to offer either of these guys now either, which is part of why I was comfortable making that move. I do feel pretty good about where we're at. All right, we got Corey Hayward sticking around. That's really the only player I feel like we need to bring back. We'll go ahead and match that contract, actually. That gives us a little bit more flexibility. And let's go ahead and renounce the rights here on Matthew Rivers. I know he played well for us, but just don't really think that we have the wherewithal to keep him. Let's see what our player progression looks like here. Again, I'm hoping that we made the right move here. We traded a ton of first-round picks. Servaitis went up 1 overall. Caldwell goes up 2. Moore goes up 1. And Steele actually goes down slightly because of his injury. His IQ goes up a little bit, but his physicals go down pretty significantly, and his inside scoring goes down just a hair. But Edwin Erickson's up to an 80 overall. Marty Singleton definitely took a step forward too. Cameron Hines. A lot of these guys are starting to reach their ceilings, which is tough. That's why we brought in a Clark Shaw. That's why we brought in a Dwayne Gilbert, 2 guys who I really think can help us at 18 years old. Down the road specifically, they're going to be huge impact players. Corey Hayward did go up 4 overall as well. Kind of was expensive to keep him, but I felt like it was something we should do. And I think bringing Servaitis off the bench in a big move is what we've needed. So hopefully this year we can see our team win 50-plus games and try and win a championship. Otherwise, we failed. If we don't get this done here, it would definitely be a disappointment. But ended up getting this far in the conference, or in the games here. Luka Turk still playing in Summer League. It feels like a little bit of a unnecessary thing. He started all of our games this year, but to each their own. And let's see the 2K Hoop Summit. Will we regret trading for Servaitis? Let's see what's in here. 86 overall center. Oh my gosh, Joey Levens might be the best prospect of all time. Look at this guy, 86 overall center. Yeah, we might have made a mistake, but that's okay. We'll see. He looks insane. Okay, I gotta release 1 guy, so let's go look at my roster here. I'll clean something up here, and we'll go forward. Don't worry. Yeah, I think pretty clearly here, Thomas Randolph probably has to get released. Probably just doesn't really have a spot on this roster. So, all right, moving into next season, I'll set my lineups, and then we'll go from there. All right, here's how the rotations look. We got Boris Steele at the point guard spot. We got Cliff Caldwell, Bruno Jukic, Luka Turk, and Russ Moore. So we're bringing the same starting 5 into next year that won us enough games to get in the playoffs, even with Steele tearing his ACL early in the year. And then we've got Emmanuel Servaitis off the bench. This is the big upgrade. This is the player that's supposed to help take us over the top. He's got a ton of badges. He's really, really good. Hall of Fame shooting badges in here even. He's got a lot of gold playmaking badges. He's going to help this team score points off the bench. And I think here too, the one difference, we got Clark Shaw in here now too. So we have another scoring type off the bench who he scored a ton in college at Loyola of Chicago. And I think he's going to play really well for us, hopefully. We've got some depth now on this team. And our top talent's a little bit higher with Cliff Caldwell up to that 86. And also Emmanuel Servaitis off the bench at an 86. We have 2 guys who are legitimate. We're a guard center team, but we've got 2 good big men here as well in Moore and Singleton. So hopefully this team has enough to get the job done. And we'll simulate toward the middle of the season here again, and we'll catch you guys when we get there. All right, so as of February 10th, we're 34-21, which is really legitimate. As you can see, we are one of the better teams in the conference. We're ranked 3rd right now, and our team is really good. I think that this team might be what it takes to win. I'm hoping it is, because I've worked really hard to build this. And let's look at the scoring. Cliff Caldwell, lower left leg stress fracture. The injuries have been so unfortunate. We were so healthy the first few years. Now everything's just fallen apart. But this is part of why we brought in Emmanuel Servaitis, right? He is playing really well off the bench. He's actually started 25 games, so it looks like they maybe moved him into the starting lineup even, which I'm not a fan of. I want Boris Steele to be the starter. But the 2 of them probably playing alongside each other right now, to be honest, because they need to be. Bruno Jukic playing pretty well. Edwin Erickson having an okay season. I mean, we're kind of doing the things we need to do. Clark Shaw averaging 7.5 points. He's playing rather efficient as well, so he's got some starting time for sure while Cliff Caldwell's been out, which is good. I'm glad that he's getting a little bit of experience and run, but we are going to go and try and, you know, make some adjustments here. We want Servaitis to continue playing really well for us. He's been a beast for sure, and I think the one concern I have now is when it comes to contract extensions. I did not extend these guys. I kind of forgot about that. So Servaitis and Erickson and Jukic and Caldwell are gonna all be hitting free agency like right at the same time. So that's gonna be a little bit of a concern, but we'll try and make it work. We're gonna keep working forward here. The rookie center is insane. He is an 86 overall. So worst case, if we have to figure something out, we move a little bit of guys to make up some money. And we try and go from there. But there's definitely a lot of talent on this team, and I think maybe enough to get the job done. So let's go ahead and simulate now toward the end of the season. We should be a playoff team. I'd be shocked if we're not, and we'll see what we're at when we get there. So we do come up just a little bit shy of 50 wins. Darius Garland wins MVP. Irving Mason wins Rookie of the Year. I knew that he was going to be very good. Jaden Ivey is 6th Man of the Year. Giannis gets another DPOY. Chet Holmgren gets Most Improved this late into his career, which is interesting. But here we are. Obviously, Paulo Banchero for the Golden State Warriors, I guess, played really well this year. And we're hoping to see some guys represent some of these teams. Now, we haven't had any All-NBA guys yet. Looks like that's been dominated by mostly real players. All defensive second team, Kobe Barkley makes it. That's interesting. We see a rookie. Or a generated guy, excuse me. For the most part, I'm pretty happy with what we've seen from my team so far. You know, we're at a point where, hey, we're the 4 seed. We have a home court advantage finally now. Our team should be relatively healthy at this point. Let's check it out. Cliff Caldwell is healthy. Let's pull Jukic's minutes down a little bit. We need more Caldwell run for sure. And I think, you know, they want to go with Cameron Hines. I don't really want to. I want Shaw to get some playoff time here, even if it's only 10, 11 minutes. And I think that, you know, Caldwell can take another minute here. And bring in Servaitis off the bench is what we're going to do. You know, he's played really well this year. I'm sure his numbers look really awesome. But Steele's going to be our difference maker in that starting lineup. You know, 18 points a game here for Servaitis. Kind of a step back from where he was a year ago. A little bit more efficient, though, so just a little bit less volume, which is what you'd expect here, playing for a better team than the New York Knicks. Let's go ahead and take a look at our team stats one more time. Obviously, a very good year again from Cliff Caldwell. This guy's just been so good for us. He's such a great all-around scorer. Servaitis, Luka Turk's been very good for us. Ross Moore does all the rebound work. You know, Boris Steele, definitely a step back this year. 13 points a game, 5 assists, but, you know, the efficiency was there. So I believe in Boris Steele. I think he can definitely get us to where we want to go. And looking at Clark Shaw, played in 49 games, averaged 8 points a game, and was efficient. So for me, those are pretty good numbers. Let's go ahead, simulate game by game here. Let's simulate the play-in first. So we see the Jazz make it and the Timberwolves. So sim through game. We win game 1. Did that last year as well. Boris Steele, again, another great game 1 performance. Maybe game 1 steal is what, you know, is a real, it's a real thing at this point for sure. So I feel really, really good about that. So let's go in, simulate another game here. And we lose game 2, just like last time. So not a great sign. And again, Steele really struggles in game 2 of series. So Kyrie Irving got 47. That's going to be a problem for sure. Hassan Basturk as well. I mean, look at him. Poured in 17 points. So we could be in trouble here. If we don't win this game, I'm kind of nervous. We do win, though. We do win game 5. And Cliff Caldwell said, "Don't worry, coach. I got ya." He went in, got the job done. Very happy about that. Let's simulate another game. Won again. So we might be on the verge here of winning our first playoff series. Servaitis went perfect from the field. 9 of 9 in that game. Was phenomenal. Steele kind of has been struggling a little bit, not going to lie. But let's simulate again. And the door's not closed. Kyrie Irving, Keegan Murray, Anthony Davis saying, hey, slow down here a little bit. Eric Mullins, kind of the unsung hero here, has 20 points in a pivotal game 5. Moving into game 6, let's see. We do not close the door. If we lose this game, this next game 7, it's going to feel like a huge disappointment. We move on. Huge game. We're able to get the job done. And really, it was a team effort. We had multiple guys scored 10-plus points. I think that's 7 of them there. And Kyrie Irving really shot his team out of it. 3 of 11. Jokic, one of the unsung heroes of this young team, 26 years old, really had a nice performance for this team. And let's go ahead, simulate through first game here of this series, and New Orleans does win. Dyson Daniels is up to an 85 overall. Not sure if I really believe in that. Kind of tough. Let's simulate another game. We do come back and answer. Cliff Caldwell, he's doing his thing. Cliff Caldwell is going to be the best player of this organization. When it's all said and done, he's been playing great. You could make an argument he's been so good that he should have been on all NBA teams, in my opinion. But at this point, 29 points. He's showing them in the playoffs what he's all about. And we take a 3-1 series lead over the 1 seed New Orleans Pelicans. If we win here, Cliff Caldwell's been doing it. He's been giving everybody the work. Obviously, Steele's been struggling a little bit in the postseason. Could argue that that's because of his knee. We're just going to go with that storyline. We lose game 5, but we do win game 6 on the heels of another all-time great Cliff Caldwell performance. And Steele said, what knee issue? Went 11 of 12, closeout Steele. He's right there as well. Servaitis. This is our big 3, right? They went big for us this year. And now we take on the Houston Rockets, which is a big matchup for us. And we lose game 1. Jabari Smith Jr. puts up 40. They don't even have Chet Holmgren on here. I don't see Holmgren, but they still won without him. They didn't even need him. Obviously, Caldwell struggled that game. Not going to read too much into it. We're going to go out win game 2. We do. Like that a lot. Jabari Smith Jr. still another good game, but Caldwell, a little bit better. But Eichel, one of the surprise players, the Russian rifle, Arif Eichel, gets the job done. 8 of 11 from the field. Huge performance from him. We need to keep going here. Let's move forward. Win game 3. We are on the cusp. Definitely insane. Let's go ahead and sim forward one more time. 3-1 series lead. Gotta feel like we're really in love with our odds right now. Caldwell, another great game. Jabari Smith Jr. has been the truth for them, but wins game 5. Eastern Conference Finals MVP is Jason Tatum. And your Western Conference Finals MVP, Cliff Caldwell. He has been so legitimate. You got to love what you're seeing from this guy. He's been a beast for this team and is really someone that we can rely on every single night out there. 80% true shooting percentage in this elimination game. Edmund Poole for them did have 20. But we were able to get the win, and I feel really good about where we're at. We're taking on the 1 seed Boston Celtics, who we're going to have a lot of respect for. That team is legit. Jason Tatum, 94. Jaylen Brown, 87. Robert Williams. Alperen Şengün's here. Very good squad. That's what you have to say about this team. We are in the finals, though. Let's go ahead, simulate game 1, and we lose in Boston. Tatum scores 31, quickly drops in 28 of his own. Cliff Caldwell played well. Servaitis played well. Jokic played well. We need more out of Steele. We can't have Steele on the floor for 29 minutes and only scoring 9 points. That's just not going to get the job done. And Tavares was actually a huge struggle for us. That game had a really bad plus-minus. We'll have to keep our eyes on it. We're down 2-0. We are down 2-0 in the series, and everything looks like it could be crashing down. Steele again, 1 for 9 from the floor, 7 of 8 from the stripe, but you just can't have your second or third best player scoring 9 points in the NBA Finals. It's not good enough. Let's go to game plan here. We're going to make some changes. Servaitis is in the starting lineup. We are going to go with our mega offense. We're going to play Jokic at the 4, Steele at the 2, Servaitis at the 1. We are going to put our best players in the lineup here. We're going to get less Eichel on the floor. We're going to get more Singleton on the floor. Way less Eichel. Way less Tavares. And we're going to do it. Clark Shaw needs to play. We need more scoring. We're going to pull Tavares' minutes down. We're going to pull Hines' minutes down. We need more out of everybody else. We are going to step up the minutes here for a lot of these other guys. And we're gonna ride Steele here, and we're gonna ride Caldwell. We need these guys to perform. We're gonna go with our killer lineup. We're gonna go really small. Our power forward's now gonna be 6'6", but we have a 6'5" small forward and a 6'6" shooting guard, along with a really meaty 7'2" center. And we'll have Marty Singleton playing a little bit of that backup power forward spot for us, with Edwin Erickson coming off the bench too. This gives us the best chance to win here, I think. We're going to really rely on Clark Shaw, who hasn't done a lot in the postseason so far. Hasn't missed a three-pointer, though. And that's what we're banking on, the #1 overall pick. Hopefully he can be impactful here, and we go down 3-0. We go down 3-0. Steele played so much better back in the starting lineup, but we still lost by 17 points. And really, Caldwell just shot us in the foot. He shot us in the foot. We got to simulate here. Man, very tough way to see the season ending at this point. Let's see what we can do here. We're going at 6 times speed. Boston starts off with the 3. Man. This is tough. It's been really, really tough for us. Go ahead and pause the game. Don't really want to jump in. Let's simulate to the end here. This could be the end of our season, and it is. We got swept in the NBA Finals. Cliff Caldwell does not get the job done. Rather disappointing for sure. Not what we wanted to see. I'm heartbroken by this result. The Boston Celtics have won the NBA Finals. We just weren't good enough. We just weren't. Now we go into a very tough offseason here where we're going to likely lose a lot of our guys. KD, a lot of Hall of Famers, a lot of jersey retirements here. We just don't want any rule changes. We like the NBA the way it is. The Knicks have 3 top 4 picks likely. But the Suns end up getting the first overall pick. That's who we're going to be talking to, and we can't trade for it. That is a nightmare. Here we are, huge. We got Cliff Caldwell, Emmanuel Servaitis, and Edwin Erickson to all agree to new contracts. We just have to go out now and get Bruno Jukic. We have to get Cameron Hines and Marty Singleton, and we're going to have most of the team still together. So that's really what we're focusing on right now, is go get those guys. And once we have them, we're going to be paying the luxury tax, but we're going to have our squad together. And that's really what we're looking for right now. Let's go get Bruno Jukic. We're going to give a team contract here. Team-friendly contract. Let's go get Arif as well. He played huge in the postseason last year at certain points, so someone we're going to definitely want to have around. He played really well. So on this contract, I'd love to give him a 5-year deal. We'll also put a team option on that. Let's go to the center spot. This is where we need to find our big back again. And there he is, Marty Singleton. And it looks like everybody is sticking around here at this point now. Let's go back to the shooting guard, and maybe we can bring him back just because, we drafted him. I'd love to keep him if possible. So let's see if he is in here and willing to sign. Cameron Hines. Oh yeah, $7 million a year. That's not bad at all. Let's get him locked in here for sure on this, and we're going to use our team option on him just so that we have a little bit more flexibility with that. And I'm sure that he is sticking around as well. He is. So it looks like we have most of the team back. Lamar Tavares. Right now we're at a point where we're actually not even that bad in terms of where we are. We can probably afford Tavares even. Let's go get him as well. It's going to be a little tough. Might not be able to offer. Well, we got him, so Lamar Tavares is sticking around. We're probably going to have to make some other moves to clear out some money still at this point, but we're able to keep our squad together for the most part, which is really valuable. And player progression again here, this is one of the most important things. Cliff Caldwell stayed. He didn't get any better, unfortunately. Emmanuel Servaitis didn't really improve much, but Clark Shaw and Dwayne Gilbert did. These are two guys who were not really in the rotation a ton last year that will be this year. I think Dwayne Gilbert, I have to be a little careful with him because it's D plus 3-pointer. But hopefully he can continue to showcase what he's about. Luka Turk, and actually Boris Steele went down 2 overall. So that hurts for sure. But we'll see what we can do. I think Clark Shaw is going to have to play a huge role this year if we're going to be any good. So that's kind of the hope here, is that, hey, we're a pretty good team, and Clark Shaw is going to be kind of right at the center of all of that. Here's the 2K Hoop Summit. Let's go ahead and click into that. See, 81 overall player. Some pretty good guys in this draft, it looks like. But not anyone that I'm going to aggressively target, because right now I'm about to make the biggest trade imaginable. Because we were going to trade Finder for Joey Levens, and they didn't have any interest in trading him, which I understand. I wouldn't either. But the nice thing is it's not really up to them. Let's go make a trade. We're going to find a way to bring him in, regardless of what it takes. If that means Marty Singleton has to go, I would do it. Can't trade him because of the recent re-sign restrictions, but I'm sure that we can find a way to make this work. Dwayne Gilbert might have to be one of the players going out, which I hate to see because he is really awesome. But for a player of Joey Levens' caliber, you guys understand that this is something that we have to really look at. So right now, we would take $1 million over. So we need to send somebody back else out. Can't do Tavares. Henry Bailey just never really lived up to the hype. So let's see, maybe we can get a draft pick with this too. That would be awesome if we can. Okay, they consider him untouchable, which I understand. Let's remove that and try this again. Okay, let's we've got the first here to do it, so let's make it happen. We're throwing in 3 first, or let's try 2 first here. Okay, they do not want to do that. 3 firsts for Levens. We are giving you a really good package here, Phoenix. Come on, let's make it happen. They will not trade him. This is probably one of the best packages I could put together, and they just look like they have zero interest in getting this done. If I include Luka Turk, and I could start Levens at power forward, maybe. They would have to send me something else back. Peyton Pritchard. Okay, they just do not have a lot of interest in making this deal. Let's see, what do I have? Do I have anything that can sway them here? Let's not do Luka Turk. What about Boris Steele? I would hate to include him. We're not going to include him. It's going to have to be Henry Bailey. And it might have to be Clark Shaw in here, but I just don't think that's going to get the deal done. They are not willing to trade Joey Levens. I mean, I'm okay with running it back. We don't necessarily need Levens, but having him would be really nice. It would be. Yeah, no, they're not going to take anything, it looks like here. So let's try, throw that first in there. Yeah, this is 5 first-round picks and a center back for him, and they're not willing. I understand. It's okay. Let's simulate ahead to February 9th, and maybe we'll see what we get when we're there. It's a bummer. I wanted him. All right, February 9th, and we are 1 game above 500 only. So not looking like a 50-win season by any means here. We are struggling pretty heavily. Servaitis playing well. I mean, I think the biggest issue is Steele just isn't doing what he's capable of. And it's one of those things that had he never gotten injured, who knows? Boris Steele might be the best player in the league. He was on that trajectory and now finds himself at a spot where he's struggling. Dwayne Gilbert's playing well. Clark Shaw is playing pretty well. I think that we're just struggling in some spots that I just felt like we wouldn't be struggling. Henry Bailey's been playing in some games. This team's just not good enough, quite frankly. We are at a spot where we aren't winning enough games. So let's go ahead. We're going to make something drastic here. We're going to make some changes. We don't want Dwayne Gilbert starting. That's not going to happen anymore. You know, he's not even been playing bad. I don't care. It's not happening. We're going to start Clark Shaw. In fact, no, we're not. Actually, yes, we are. We're not going to start Eichel. we're going with the death lineup again. We're going to go fast. We're going to have a lot of speed on the floor. We're going to have a lot of talent on the floor. We'll start Clark Shaw. We'll give him 20 minutes. That's good with me. Erickson, he needs to play more than Eichel for sure. Singleton needs to be playing more. And Dwayne Gilbert probably can play less. Let's just balance this out a little bit. Let's give Shaw some more minutes. Yeah, this looks good to me now. I'm pretty happy about this. Henry Bailey, I mean, realistically, Eichel could not play and it wouldn't bother me a ton. But Turk being out right now with an injury definitely hurts. One thing I do want to check quick too, let's just look at Caldwell. Is there any, what's his award history? Rookie of the Year, first team all rookie, that's really it. I mean, we haven't had even an all-star this entire time, which is pretty, well, Russ Moore's an all-star. Look at that, Russ Moore makes the all-star team. But besides that, we just haven't had, you know, other than rookie awards, like we just haven't had guys get real accomplishments, which is kind of surprising me. You'd think maybe that we would have, but at this point we haven't so far. Let's see, we're gonna give one last ditch effort to making a trade here to the Phoenix Suns. So let's see if we can get that done. I would love to have Joey Levens, I really would. Maybe just maybe Dwayne Gilbert is someone who can impress them enough to get something done here. So I'm gonna finagle with this just a little bit more, and we'll see if there's any way that we can get something done here. My guess is probably not, but we shall see. We really kicked it into gear in the second half of the season, finished 46-36. Joey Levens was Rookie of the Year, though. Man, I would have loved to have this player on my team. Look at his, man, he's insane. But we were not able to get him. Jaden Ivey wins another 6th Man of the Year. That seems really unfair that he's coming off the bench still. Dean Conley, wow. He took a huge step forward, probably proving me wrong that I didn't want a draft pick in that class. Won Rookie of the Year, I believe, as well in his own class. So he's looking pretty good. Took a real step forward. Remember, he shot only 37%, won Rookie of the Year, but has gotten significantly better since then. Willie Green, Joseph Jackson are your coach and executives of the year, respectively. And again, just Chet Holmgren makes an All-NBA third team. Looks like we just haven't added the talent we've needed to. Miles Turner makes an All-Defense team. Kobe Barkley here again. We saw him earlier. All-Rookie team. Jimmy Owens. There's some okay players in here. Not anything that super concerns me, other than Joey Levens, of course. And it would have been awesome if Levens was our first matchup of the playoffs. I would have loved to have matched up with him, but we didn't. Let's go ahead and look at the upcoming free agents. There's some good players out there, including some of our guys that we're going to have to keep our eye on. But at this point, it's okay. We are chilling, and we are going to go out there, and we're going to try our best to win a series here against the team that beat us in our first ever playoff series in this video. So, see, we lose game one. Let me guess, Anthony Edwards 50. Oh my gosh, they added Luka Doncic to Anthony Edwards. Well, looks like we're gonna wrap up this video a little early, guys. Yeah, this one looks like it's over. 3-0. If we get swept here, it's the end of the video. We won a game. Anthony Edwards went for 46. Luka Doncic should not impact the game all that much. Dwayne Gilbert's been playing like that. He's been really, really good. Boris Steele had a double-double. Servaitis did his thing. Come on. We got to start piecing them together, and we've been eliminated. Thank you guys so much for watching. Unfortunately, we could not get the job done here. This was a massive failure. And there it is again. Dyson Daniels and Darius Garland. And let's see who wins it. Probably the Cavs again. And Darius Garland, 44 points per game. Absolutely incredible. Again, this is what our final roster ended up looking like. We made it to a finals, just could not get the job done. Had a phenomenal team. I really liked the team that we put together. It was just unfortunate because we just could not close the door when we needed to. Cliff Caldwell is one of those great players. This team was really, really good. I just don't think we had enough at the end of the day to really do what we needed to do. And, you know, we ended up getting bounced. It's really what it came down to. If Boris Steele doesn't tear his ACL, I think it's a different story. I really do. I think this team, completely different outcome. But instead, at this point, we struggled. So that's the video here. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. This one took a ton of time to put together. These videos always take the longest, so make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more like this. Let me know if you did really enjoy this video in the comment section as well. Thanks again so much for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the very next Utility Sports video.